Welcome back to the Beyond Face Value podcast, the podcast where we uncover the stories behind successful entrepreneurs and businesses. I'm your host, Hannah Swan, and each week we dive into the real journey to success. So let's get started. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond Face Value podcast. And on today's episode, I have Denise Walsh, who is the owner of CurlyCO and Rustiq salon. Hello, thank you for coming on.
No worries. Thank you for having me. This is brilliant. Thank you.
I'm glad you came on, and I'm very excited to talk about your journey of over 20 years experience.
Yep.
Yeah, incredible.
Mental.
So what inspired you to start Rustiq salon, and how did that journey begin over 20 years ago now?
So yeah, Rustiq salon is, I can't believe it, it's going to be 20 years old this December. So it's crazy. Oh gosh, well, I'm hairdressing over 30 years and maybe halfway through that stage, I don't know how much I was into it, like 5-6 years into my hairdressing industry era when I decided to get on the jet plane and go off to Australia. So it was actually when I went over to Australia that changed everything for me. I actually went over to Bagpack for a year, the usual, but I didn't come home for over 5.
Wow.
So we landed on our feet like, well, I shouldn't say that because we worked really, really hard. We'd done a little bit of travelling, but I started working for a company called Bossy Hair. And she was a New Zealand woman who had 5 salons at the time. And I was with my brother and he was like, you need to cop on and get into there and get a job, because I was just doing hair in hostels.
Yes, you were able to do that.
Having my best life. Yeah. Doing hair in hostels and getting paid, and it was brilliant. But that was my brother was like, come on, you need to get a job, proper job. So started off hairdressing in a salon. 6 months later promoted to manager. 6 months later promoted to lead educator for her salons. Yeah, we were there I had to go back to college. I won a scholarship at Wella, which meant I was allowed to work with Wella part-time doing shows around the country. So we were we were living in Brisbane, but I used to fly down to Sydney to do shows. And funny enough, I used to have to go, I always was picked on hair shows, even in Ireland, to do curly hair, even though at that time I used to straighten the living daylights out of my hair.
Yeah, I was just about to say
but I had a natural flair with curls because I knew how to handle them. But yeah, great life over there, really enjoyed it. But I think over there I learned that the customer service, like the level of professionalism and the level of customer service in Australia is phenomenal. Yeah, just like the the friendliness when you go into a shop. And I think that was a bit of a turning point for me. I was like, oh my God. And of course I was Irish, so I was loved over there. So I was a really busy stylist. And then I was educating, and then I went back to college for the lady that I was working for to get my papers to train over there, and then to train the trainer over there. So I done a huge amount of work in the time that we were over there, whilst having a great time in the sunshine as well. We got a little bit homesick and we came home, and I worked for another lady for about 3 months, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. At one stage, I actually thought I wanted to open up, this is the truth now, right? I came back thinking I wanted to open up a hair cash and carry,
which would have been a supply store kind of, a
supply store, which would have been so cool as well. But I don't know where I got that idea. I think maybe I was coming back and I was really unrooted. I didn't really, I was unsettled. I didn't know whether I wanted to be in Ireland, Australia, whether I wanted to stay teaching, whether I wanted to do hair. Anyway, long story short, I opened up my own salon, being back maybe less than 12 months being back in Ireland. So I opened up my own salon with one junior, and then it was like a little 800 square foot salon. We had like 6 stations, and I went from having one stylist to having maybe, I think 6 or 7 within 6 months. I opened it up like in boom time, like it was ridiculously busy. And I was working 5 and 6 days a week, made loads of mistakes as regards money and finances, didn't pay VAT bills, didn't pay PRSI, didn't really know what they were, had no understanding of it. I was able to do really cool hair. I was able to do fabulous hair, but I had no idea how to run a business. So that was like the start of one of my many mistakes that I've made in all of my businesses, and I think you can only learn from those.
Absolutely.
I remember being in debt of like 65,000 at 25, I think it was 24, 25. Yeah, and my parents wanted to help me out. And I was like, absolutely not, I'll do this by myself. So got really good guidance from the enterprise board, and the credit union sat me down meeting after meeting after meeting, and we had to pay back within 18 months. So like they say, like, you know, your staff can't close you down, or your let me see, like your people that provide the colour, I can't think of their names right now, you know, when you don't pay their bills, that they, you know, they can close you down. None of those can close you down, but the sheriff and the revenue can close you down.
Yeah.
So like at that time, I know I had meetings with the revenue, and it was like, look, you need to pay it back. And it was just young stupidity, spending everything that came in, not planning for the future, not budgeting, not doing cash flows. That was 18 months. I was pregnant at the time on my first child. It was the toughest 18 months I've ever put in my life.
Oh,
I didn't get a loan from anyone. We paid it all back. And like we had 18 months to pay it back, otherwise they were going to close us down. So we paid it back, and then after that was done and the baby was born, I was straight on a plane over and back doing business courses with Fantastic Studio in London by a man called Alan Austin Smith. And between that and then mentoring from the Leo Enterprise and any kind of business course that you can think of, payroll, computers, social media, I done over the following 12 months. I fired about 3 accountants.
Wow.
I didn't click with them, and I was sick of getting the don't worry about that, we'll pay it, don't worry about that, we'll sort it out. When I was asking questions at that stage,
you wanted to know everything, like what's going on
what's
here,
VAT like,
yeah,
what's, you know, PAYE,
the basics,
everything. I wanted to know everything. And I think it was a lot of Alan teaching me, like, you don't ever hand over a job to somebody unless you know how to do it yourself. That goes from me to top when it comes to accounts, right down to washing the floors in the salon. Like, I know how to do them. Do I do them anymore? I don't need to do them anymore. We have help to do that, but I still can do it if I need to. From doing stock take, management, money, everything. Now we run a really well-oiled machine. Like now we have I had 2 salons and I sold one to start CurlyCO 3 years ago, but now, and even with the 2 salons, that was maybe year 6 or 7, and then after maybe 2 years of putting myself through the paces of actually becoming a business woman, because for a long time I was a hairdresser working in a business, and I think there's so many of us can relate to that.
Yeah,
like, are you working behind the chair 24 hours a day, or are you taking control of your business as well? So I decided that I wanted to be a businesswoman. And I love being a hairdresser. I still do it, by the way, 2 days a week. And I love it, and I'm going to stay doing it for as long as I can. I know with CurlyCO coming on, it's going to get harder and harder, but I love it. But from front of house, any of those jobs, like, I need to know how to do them. I can train up somebody else to do it, and then I can step aside and let them do it. But I still need to check in. Check in and show them that I can still do it. And I know how to do it. But since then, now how our business works is cash flows on a weekly basis. Most salons don't realise that they're in debt, which is really scary, and most salons will not do a P&L until the end of the year. And like, what can you change at the end of the year when you're sitting there? And it's not even at the end of the year, it's not like it's 31st of December. Like, if you're sole trader, your end of year is October. I'm limited, so it's the 31st of December. You'll be lucky if you get your books by March. I have a really good accountant company now, and I always request that I'd have my books very early in Q1, and I've been working with them a long time, so you know, they're able to give me that service that I ask for. Incredible. But apart from that, we have like a bookkeeper who works with us 1 day a week. She's literally in-house for CurlyCO as well, and she will give me monthly P&Ls on both businesses, monthly cash or weekly cash flows. We're able to do Rustiq all ourselves now as regards cash flow, but as regards the P&Ls, they're done on a monthly basis. It just means that we can keep an eye and we can keep track, and that if we need to change our goals or move a goalpost in order to meet a target,
you can do so.
We have the ability to do that. But what can you do, in my opinion, at the end of the year? Now, it's costly, so a lot of businesses can't afford it. But I suppose at the time of running into the bit of trouble that I did,
it gave you the fright of your life. Like,
it did, and I talk really openly, freely about that. And I'd done a lot of educating for salons before COVID. I had another business called Business of Hair, where we were doing colour and the business with salon owners as well. I just got too busy, we couldn't keep it up. But I see the same mistakes when I walk into salons, and it's basically overspending on silly things, basically.
I love that.
But with that in mind, you do realise the only person that can close you down is revenue.
Yeah.
So you don't want anything like
want
that. So we pay all our bills on time. There's nothing left outstanding. It's like a well-oiled running machine now. Thank God. Touch the wood.
Yeah, I'd say that gives you such relief.
It does. Like there's a lot of work in it. We meet every single week. We meet managers every 6 weeks. We're constantly looking at cash flows and budgets and making sure that we're not overspending. And, you know, in this industry, especially the hair, like Rustiq, it's very hard. You can't cut corners. It's quality over quantity every time. But the cost of living is just getting higher and higher, and it's really hard. Like you're in the beauty trade as well, so you know what I mean when I say like the costs are just going up and up and up. But in this country, you know, the price of a service is still not high enough.
No, not
like
at
if
all.
you get a balayage done in Australia or America, like you're looking at minimum $800.
Yeah.
It's still, when you change that into the currency that we're in euro, it would be a lot more than what we charge, which is generally maybe 300 or 400 euros.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
So I think until we change our pricing, it's never going to change as regards the quality, especially of a wage that you can give the stylists.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I love how transparent you are. And like you were just briefing on there saying that, you know, if you're a smaller business, you might not be able to afford kind of that, you know, keeping up with your kind of finances. What would you do if you were 25 again? You know, you didn't.
Yeah, I meant to answer that. Sorry. You kind of just start talking.
Yeah.
If I was 25 again, and I'm 45 now this year, 46
20 years on.
But I have lots of staff down through the years that have opened up their own salons. I encourage them and we work together, and I'll always try and help them and give them any advice. And the biggest thing I'll always say to them is, well, to be honest with you, anyone that has left from me has generally left with a knowledge of knowing exactly what to do without asking as regards the business. We're very transparent in the salon as well. We go through money figures, we go through targets, we go through everything individually and as a team. We have what's called the changing room, and then working on the field. So the changing room was made up of managers, and the field is like where you have your employees, and they don't want to know like the gross profit margins.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
Exactly, and that's human nature. But you'll always find the ones that are going to open up eventually will want to kind of
have that bit more
sit in on the changing room and find out what's going on and what can you do to improve things. I would definitely say anybody thinking about opening up a salon, whether it's beauty or hair or any business for that matter, that you need to have accountability is the biggest thing. Have accountability for what you're supposed to be doing. And that would be to do as many business courses as you can, because you shouldn't open up a business, in my opinion, without having some sort of an understanding of the simplistic things: PAYE, VAT, revenue, what you need to do, what's your rent, what's your heating, have all the prices. And the next thing I will always say is budget. Because most hairdressers wear and drive their money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
exactly,
it's like, what you mean, yeah.
I've been in that phase. I was like, oh, there's a bit of money in the account, I'm going to buy a car. Do you know? And not thinking that there was a VAT bill to be paid or a PA. And I know some people might go, geez, that's thick.
Yeah.
Like, how would your one go and buy a car? And she didn't actually think about, I had no clue that we had to pay PAYE and VAT. Why? Because I left it all to the accountant. And I was continuously told, don't worry about it, we'll sort that out. And then I was getting curious and I wanted to know what they were. So nowadays you just Google everything, don't you?
Yeah, it's much easier to figure it out. And were you always a sole trader, or did you transition to a limited company?
Yes, we were sole trader for a long time, and then we transitioned as we got bigger to a limited company.
Okay, yeah. No, that's very good. I love as well the way you said most people wear or drive like their money.
Yeah, it's when you don't have an understanding. Whereas now, like at home, I just drive my husband batty because before we even had kids, like we had a little folder at home, and it was like, you know, ESB, TV, blah blah blah, all the little things had to be paid. Holiday, so it was like our own little, you know. Now we have Revolut Vault funds. Do you know, you just put everything into your little.
Much easier now.
But yeah, like we used to say. So I've always been budgeting and saving. So for that to happen to me, for someone who's so organised and particular about paying stuff on time, was a real big kick in the stomach at the time.
I can imagine.
How did I let that happen?
Ego, like
how did I let that happen? Like, you know, but unfortunately the statistics show that I'm not the only one. Like there's so many people out there that are in debt. I just couldn't live like that.
Yeah.
I don't even have a credit card.
No, oh God, no, I could never get one. No. Oh my God, I wouldn't trust myself with one. No way. But I think it's having the awareness to not get one. It's like, I'm okay. Like
the businesses don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't even have them. The managers have them. And it's not that I don't trust myself. It's that I don't need the credit card. Like I have my money comes in, and if I have the money to buy something, I will. If I don't, I won't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a lot of... I
don't know if that's good or bad, but that's just the way I do it anyway.
It is something that you have to do as well when you own a business, is you kind of have to have that self kind of awareness.
And none of us are perfect in the sense that like I pay off bills straight away, and apparently that's not good. So if you get like a 30-day term to pay it, I was a devil for so that was the other reason I would have got in trouble at that time was I kept paying bills nearly too early.
Why is that a bad thing?
I think it's good to have some cash flow. So like if you've been given 60 days to pay it and you've paid that bill, instead of like using some of the money and put it into a fund.
I see.
So now like what we do now is for both businesses, I have accounts, bank accounts, and they're called PAYE, and there's another one called VAT. Like they're just what we've named them, and it goes in every single week. Every single week. So we're able to calculate what it is, and it's in there. Brilliant. So then when the VAT bill comes in, no bother, press the button, there it is, take it.
Deadly.
PAYE, there you go, take it, and then there's no
hassle.
There's no hassle, no drama.
I definitely think
and no sleepless nights.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely think it's a good thing as well to just have that off your conscience, like with all the other things that are going on, that kind of way. Yeah. And at what point did you realise there was a gap in the market for curly hair products, and how did it spark your idea for CurlyCO?
Like for years, a really good friend of mine had always said, like, your hair is gorgeous, and we were doing a lot of educating together. And it was when I was over in Holland, and one of the guys off the team cut my hair back up a bit shorter, and they were like, stop straightening it, it's gorgeous on you curly. And I never wore my hair curly because I didn't feel confident enough, and I think if I didn't have it straight, I wasn't corporate looking enough walking into a business meeting, which is ridiculous. But I just had this with a client actually last Friday, a new client. She came in and said to me, she was going to a meeting, she was first time in with me, I had 2 hours, like she was foxy leaving, like stunning, but she would have had the straighteners out and straightening the crap over her hair because she was going to an important meeting and she didn't know, and she's like, look, I'm actually going to a meeting, I'm dressed for it, like see my hair, help me, just like help me. So that was my story, and had been for years. Like, didn't like it anyway. When the guys cut my hair, and they were, we took some photographs of it, and they were like, can you not see what we see? And I could then, but it took me a long time to see it, how my hair suited me naturally instead of straightening the living daylights out. I don't know how old you are, but I reckon you're a lot younger than
23.
Me. So you probably don't remember sticking your head on the ironing table on a Saturday night and running the irons over it.
I've seen a picture of my auntie doing it.
Yeah. And then you went to the nightclub and you were like, and then GHD brought out this thing where you popped in the coins and you could you don't remember
in
those,
the nightclubs,
right? Yeah. And they had like straighteners in the nightclubs, and you were in straightening your hair.
I remember seeing that before, and I was like, surely that's not good. Like,
but what's the point? Because you walk out and you're sweating again. It's like this big, and it was horrible. So it was after that, and then actually very soon after that, then the lovely lockdowns happened. I say the lovely lockdowns because yes, they were horrible for businesses and horrible for a lot of people. I never had maternity leave. I have 3 kids. Never had maternity leave, so I took that. Look, nothing I can do, can't control the bloody world, so I'm just going to sit back and have picnics out in the back garden with the kids and enjoy it. And it was definitely at that time I thought, I can't sit down now either. Like the first lockdown was deadly, wasn't it?
The weather was nice every day. Like the world was stopped.
My husband's an acupuncture, so he was classed as being able to go back to work. So then he buggered off back to work, and I was like, how dare they let him go back to work?
You were jealous.
And I was stuck with my children.
You weren't used to probably.
I loved them on the first. I loved them on the first lockdown, and the second one it was like, right, get your homework done, do this job. You're doing the Hoover, and I'm only joking. I loved them. And it was at that time, and I was like, I can't sit down here for another 2 or 3 months and not do anything. So that was when CurlyCO was started, and that's when all the phone calls started being made, and I started reaching out to people left, right and centre. I reached out to Nikki Hine, who she passed me on to Geraldine from Skin Formulas, and Marissa Carter from Cocoa Brown. And through those 3 ladies, it was, the doors opened up like
Brilliant.
very fast.
Yeah.
Very fast. And especially between Geraldine from Skin Formulas, she got me onto a branding company in the UK, and then Marissa put me onto a lot of manufacturers. So yeah, I owe a lot of them, because it's really hard to open the doors. Like it's really, really hard. And I hope one day I can repay that, because that was really big.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like we were on one of the lockdowns, maybe my husband was home from work or whatever, and I had said, here, feck it, I'll just send Marissa a message. And like, you know, Marissa Carter, like,
Yeah, you didn't
know
even get
Marissa
an
Carter,
answer.
like Marissa Carter's huge. And I could see the bubbles, and I was going, what?
Oh my God, she's
What?
typing back.
I was like, hi Marissa, Nikki told me to reach out to you, la 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 la. And I was upstairs in my bedroom, and she messaged back, big long message, and I was just like, oh my god,
trying to read
oh
it
my
as quick as
god,
possible.
she's her number. And I ran out to the top upstairs, I was like, Jason.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? I was like, Marissa Carter's after messaging me back. And he's like, deadly, who is she?
Yeah. that's what my boyfriend, whenever I'm like, oh my God, she's coming on the podcast, and he's like, who's that?
Well, we were doing really funny TikToks back then, I suppose. Stupid, anything to pass the time. And the first thing she said to me on the phone, she was, oh my God, Denise, you're a belter. I can't stop laughing at that TikTok you done with your husband. And
you're like, oh my God, you see them?
It was a TikTok of an extra boob, and you know how men are like an extra boob, basically. That's how God created man.
So funny.
And that was that was literally it. And that was when it started
from there.
And yeah, I had a branding company fly over and meet me at my house, because I don't know what lockdown it was.
They're all a blur, aren't they? Like,
I think, no, I wasn't pregnant on Huey, I can't remember, but
Probably
I know
like
there was, for
2022,
some
would it?
reason, I think I had a thyroidectomy done. That's what it was. I had a full thyroidectomy done just before lockdown, so my immune system was down. So I had to be kept away, kept out in different things, and la like many. And I know I didn't want to fly. I was too scared of the airports and the amount of people. So they came over to see me, basically.
Wow.
And had the first meeting in my sitting room, looking at logos and deciding. And then in the meantime, then it was reaching out and trying to find a manufacturer as well at the same time.
Yeah. And obviously after your journey of having like, you know, everything that happened with your finances, were you quite reluctant on starting a business? You know, it's always a big risk, but
no.
Or did you have that experience from the salon? What was
straight in? I was like, because like CurlyCO or Rustiq, as I said, it's 20 years this year, so it would have been about 17 years or something when I decided to do this.
You were fine by then.
And like honestly, by year 7 or 8 with Rustiq, we were running a well-oiled like clockwork machine.
You were fine.
I mean, it's a service industry, so I rely on people for Rustiq as well. So the ups and downs I'll always have now will be, you know, someone being out sick for long periods of time. Maternity leave is a huge cost on any business, whether we like it or not. It is. So there's always going to be that. But as regards the business aspect of it and how it runs, I wasn't a bit afraid. No, I had my ducks all lined up.
Good. Yeah,
we had money saved up. So myself and my husband put our life savings into this. My mum and dad have given us a helping hand, which thank God I'll have them paid back this year. And they don't, like, I say thank God, but it's like they don't want it back. But I'm like, no, there you go.
Yeah.
Again,
you have this thing.
I don't like having bills or debts over. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's not at all.
So wasn't afraid, but had also sat down with my accountant on numerous occasions. And with the 2 salons that I had, like I sold the one I had in Carlo, and do you know what? For years he'd been wanting me to sell it, because he's like, this is a lot of work. For what you're putting in and what you're getting back, it's a lot of work. But the sitting down conversation I had with him about this, and I had like mood boards, I had projections, I had plans, and like, you know yourself, projections are just what you guesstimate.
Just what you think of what you'd like.
Still, I had it done. I think I impressed him so much. He was just like, like
you'll be fine.
Even the type of product that you're doing, Denise, and I have no hair on my head, he said, you
sold it to him even. And you were like, we are fine, let's go.
And it's funny because my distribution company, Simon, he won't mind me saying that, but he has no hair either. He is like my number one hype distributor person. Like, he's on the ground getting it into the retailers. He's just like, he's nearly like a dad figure now. You know, he's just so proud, and my accountant is so proud. So it's it's a good feeling. I had all my homework done before I sat down, and I think anybody thinking of doing it needs to put the legwork in on that, because it is it's a really hard industry to break. The minute you take your foot off the pedal, you are on a pause standstill. Like it's not an industry that you go in and you go, I'm going to make loads of money and retire very early. That is not what that's about.
Yeah, people will run over you, won't they? Like,
yeah. And even if you do get like that viral moment that someone is using your product, like you still have to keep working. Like you still have to. It's like cycling a bike. You have to keep going. Yes, there's times where you need to step aside and have a break and have a holiday, spend time with your family, but you have to keep going.
Yeah.
Because the minute you stop, the sales stop, sales drop, sales go down.
It's all a big domino effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what were the biggest challenges in formulating and developing your CurlyCO products?
I'm trying to keep all of my products on silicone sulfate free. Okay. Curly Girl method is a huge thing in America, and the States is on our projections, like for sure. By year 4 or 5, we want to go into the States.
Brilliant.
So we've kind of a few channels started already on that. Curly Girl method is like a big organisation. It's a bit cultish, right?
Yeah.
But still. So I remember when I started following it, it's like, you're not allowed to dry your hair, you're not allowed this, you're not allowed that. But the biggest thing for them is the ingredients that go into the products. So the best of our products will have silicone in them, for sure. Even the professional products in the salon. And silicone's not bad, by the way. Or sulfates, they're not bad. Just too much of it in a product is. So that's definitely been a hurdle, is trying to find a product exactly how I want it to work, and that it has no sulfates in it, and it's more expensive. Yeah. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. I would say more so what's been a challenge is not about the product, it's actually the manufacturing. So I was on my second manufacturing company in the UK. I'm now really proud to say that we're now being manufactured in Ireland.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's taken amazing. A lot of work, but now we are officially manufactured, guaranteed Irish, the whole shebang. We're there. So, and the manufacturing company that I'm working with now, again, I've gone back to a female led manufacturing company, and I got on really well with them. And my first 2 branding companies were male dominated. Sorry. But my branding company and my all the companies that I have at the moment just seem to be female led companies, so.
Which is nice as well, because I think like as females, like you can always relate to kind of what you're doing a product or, you know, that kind of way. Like that with me with lashes and stuff, like women you can just relate it that bit more, you know, you're on the level. But like that, if you are dealing with like bald men, they might not get it as much.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if that's what it's about. You know, honestly, what I think it's about is I think I was stung like years ago with that accountant that I had. And I never liked being told, like, you know, get back in your box and let me do my job. I'm the big man here. And I hated that. And even though like the accountancy firm I have is owned by a male, but my bookkeeper is a female, and oh my God, is she amazing. Like I bring her to everything. She's like my financial advisor. She's an accountant as well. But I think that's more so where I'm stemming from, is I always like, I want to know why. I'll always want to know why.
Always know why, yeah. And I think it's a great thing to always never be afraid to ask questions.
100%.
You know, that kind of way. Even if it is from the people that know what they're doing, it's good to question them. Do you know, that kind of way? Yeah,
there shouldn't be any stupid questions.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And how did your experience with your own curly hair shape the kind of products that you've developed?
Brilliant question.
Yeah, I think
the niche that you were talking about earlier on that I saw in the market was like nearly all of the products on the market. Dare say I say that CurlyCO is the only product on the market that's really aimed at finer curly hair. And whether you know it or not, like 80% of the global community will have what they call Irish curls. It's like a mad trend on TikTok actually in the last couple of months. This Canadian girl came out with the term of, I've got Irish curly hair. What is Irish curly hair? It's like inconsistent curls. So some straight pieces, some wavy pieces, but more importantly, it's the texture and it's the volume of the hair is a lot finer. So even like if you see Kirsten here in my picture, she's got like coily hair. You know, so like when you're talking about that South African coily, thick hair, those products are going to be a lot heavier, gloopier. We feel like we have to wash our hair a lot. And whenever I'm doing events and I talk about this, and I can see everyone in the audience and they're nodding, they're like, yeah, that's it. And like, is that why my head is a bit itchy after day 2 or day 3 and I have to keep washing it? Yes.
Like, there you go.
CurlyCO products are a lot lighter than any other product on the market. at the moment.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because obviously the original kind of people that would have curly hair would be that kind of African kind of like, and that's where people like it all came from, kind of.
Yes, like if you have a wave in your hair, like you have a natural wave in your hair, you're a client of CurlyCO.
Yeah,
you don't have to have my curls or like Kirsten's curls in the picture. You don't have to have those type of curl. Like we have clients coming into us going, I think I have a curl, but I'm not sure, and then they walk out and they're like, oh God, wow.
Yeah, I'd be wondering, because I was born with like ringlets, like I looked like Annie. Then I straightened it for years. Yeah. And now it's like, if like now I done this
I know you have that done yourself, but I can still tell by looking at it.
Because if I let my hair dry naturally, it's all like that weird kind of curly straightish.
Yeah. So it's just giving people the opportunity to wear it one way or the other. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying if you've got curly hair, you should never wear it straight or you should never do a blow dry. I don't, because I don't have time. Yeah. I've got 3 kids. I barely get time to have a shower these days. So sitting down having a blow dry straight is not on my agenda. But also, I am 46 this year, and when I look at my hair straight, I don't care what anyone says. Well, actually I do, because everyone has told me straight out. I look 10 years older with it straight. So I think people are going to get to a certain age and then they'll be like, I just want to look younger, you know, whether it's Botox fillers, whatever patch you choose, but it's always going to come back to your crown.
Yeah, whatever makes you look younger.
You know, if you feel, if your hair is right, you feel good. If you, no matter what your hair type is, straight, curly, whatever, male, female, if your hair is not right, and you can have a lather of makeup on your face, you don't feel right.
No, it shapes your whole face so and everything. Yeah,
you can have like designer outfit on you. You can have makeup. And if your hair is not right, you're going to still feel like when you walk around.
Yeah, it'll be true. You won't even want to look at yourself. Yeah, it's so true. And how did you approach branding and marketing to create a strong identity for CurlyCO? Because I know you obviously had the salon. So how did you kind of differentiate them?
And they're completely different companies. So that's a really good question. I didn't have, obviously I have my background as a hairdresser. So I knew what I wanted to do. But I wanted to be really softly with the branding, but also fun. Yeah. Because I think curly hair, people have more fun.
Yeah, it is a fun thing, yeah.
But also I think our colours and our branding are quite soft, they're playful, but I think it shows a little bit of passion as well. Like I love our lilac and our blue, our colouring. It's just nice and soft. It's consistent, but it's playful, which is I think what stands for the whole brand, to be honest with you.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think as well, like, colours are such an important thing. Yes. Because I find as well, sometimes people are afraid to play with colour now. Yeah. Out of the kind of, they're probably scared that it will look kind of childish maybe. Yeah. But I think you've done a really good job of kind of that kind of quality, but like that, still having the playfulness in it. Yeah. And did a lot of talk go behind that? Did you think that?
Oh my God, that was like months and months and months. I can imagine. When we formulated our first batch of products, I'm a big fan of like Tom Ford perfumes and those masculine woody scents. Beautiful. So that's all I wanted. I was like, right, we're going to have that as our scent for a start off. And then they came and I was like, oh God. Yeah, too much. My God. Because with curly hair, you're not washing it every day. Yeah. So curly hair tends to get a little bit naturally musky anyway. And then you put these musky products in your hair. Yeah, it's like stink.
No, yeah, it'd be too much.
It didn't work. So we had scrapped that and we had to go right back. And we're like, right, what do we want? So yeah, like our perfumes are at the moment, we've 6 products, and the shampoo, conditioner and mask are orange, so essential orange oils. Lovely. And the styling products are mango. So again, gorgeous. Essential, and we've more coming this year. So new scents again. So I think the smell of the products, when you see the bottle in front of you and you have the scent in front of you, they just go hand in hand. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. It's like a burst.
Yeah, it all comes together.
The reviews that we're getting back are people are saying like, oh, love, the minute you walk into the house, my husband is like, I knew you washed your hair because I can smell it. It's so fresh and citrusy. Yeah. So again, when we're only washing our hair once or twice a week, it's going to be nice and fresh throughout the week.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's really well thought out. And what advice would you give to other hairstylists who want to move into the product development kind of side of things?
Follow your heart. Like if you see a gap in the market, and you know, I think that's a question I get asked all the time. Did you see a gap in the market, and you know, it's such a niche product? But I don't think I done it for that. I really done it for, my biggest thing was, I brought back to myself was the why. Like, why did I do this? I done it because I didn't feel confident with my hair straight or without it being straight, sorry, excuse me. But yeah, I couldn't find the right products to help me create the curl that I was confident in.
Yeah.
So we're back to the products being too heavy, too leapy, and then I just get browned off and I'm like, oh, here, just blow dry it straight. It's not going to last. It's not going to do anything. So it always has to come back to the why for me. Why? Because I didn't feel confident enough, and I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I am definitely on a campaign this year for the younger generation. When I say the younger generation, I'm talking about teenagers, and we are getting an influx of them, thank God, now coming into the salon because they want to wear their hair natural. And like, you guys know what it's like. I mean, teenagers are, I have a teenager, so I know exactly what it's like, but I can remember when I was a teenager.
Feeling,
oh, that's such self-conscious feeling of not knowing what to do. But so we're definitely on a campaign to try and help people recognise what they have themselves, like, you know, just polish it and embrace it.
And I think half of the time is like, it's not that they don't want it, it's they don't know how to do it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So like
it is
that they are left with them mixed curls and it just looks crap, but they're like, why would I, like, if I could just straighten this and know that will look fine, why not do that?
Yeah. Do you know how satisfying it is to be a hairdresser and to have someone sit in your chair and they have no idea what to do? And we do a curly experience in our salon, so that we're with them for 2 hours. Wow. And we're cutting it, we're styling it, and the time goes by so fast. Like, people are like, 2 hours, what are you doing for 2 hours? It's a big step for someone. And for the last bit where they lift up their head and they're just like, you know, you get all these like, oh my God, like, oh my God, and we've had people crying, we've had teenagers going, oh my God, I love my hair. Whether it's just a little bit of a wave or whether it's a curl or whether it's a coil, a lot of people come with their hair tied back, really like harshly tied back because they just don't know what to do with it. But it's to let people embrace what they have and try and help them more than anything. Incredible
feeling. And what strategies have worked best for growing and engaging like your kind of curl confident community?
I don't even know if I answered that first question for you. Sorry, because I'm like jotting back and forth. Sorry. So what was that question again?
So what advice would you give to other hairstylists who want to move into the product development?
Oh yes. Okay. That's what I was saying to you, was follow your heart, definitely. Right. Like, don't just think, oh, we need to do this because it's not on the market, because people will be able to tell a mile away. Like, anybody bringing out a product has to be able to stand behind it 110%. And I think there should be a story, like there has to be a why. Back to the why.
I think as well, like a lot of it, even from having people on here or my own products, it's like you don't bring out a product out of just because like you want to do it. It's kind of, you bring it because it's like a problem solving. Do you know, what problem do I have, or what would I change about it? And like that's your why. So I think it's a really important kind of message.
People will look at people that are in business, like say the likes of Amy Connolly, who actually we won a grant last week with Visa. CurlyCO won.
Incredible. I seen that. Amazing.
So we were like, we won the 10,000 and that was brilliant. But I was like, lads, I don't care, I have a mentoring session with Amy. He's like, are you mad? This is brilliant. So I think a lot of people, including myself, will look at the likes of Amy from Sculpted and see like where she is now, or Rosie Connolly from Fort Arc, and see where they are now. And I think the biggest mistake people will make was like, I want that, and then they'll jump in and do something
unexpected,
and they forget that it's like the whole the amount of years that goes in to get to that area. Like, it's a lot of work. So I think the advice I would give is make sure that you have your background checked. Like, do everything you can, get all the information, and ask people as many questions as you can, because all anyone can do is say, no, sorry, I can't help you. Reach out to everybody, but know what you want to do. Like, have a reason why you're doing it. Like, there has to be a reason.
There has to be a passion.
Like, if you're bringing out a deodorant, deadly, but why? Why are you bringing out a deodorant? What? Tell me how that's going to work. So you're nearly pitching in your head to yourself before you even do it. Because when you're pitching in reality to big firms,
that's what they'll ask.
That's like the sweat. The sweat is pumping off me even thinking about that. It's like doing a little dragon's
den with yourself, isn't it? I think it's great to be able to kind of have them like unique selling points and kind of your why, and that's why people take you more seriously as well, because they see that there's a passion behind the whole reason you've done this. You know, you're not just jumping on the bandwagon and being like, oh yeah, well, you know, I just thought that was the next step.
And it's a very costly bandwagon to jump on, so like,
but some people do that, you know, just out of a lack of kind of knowing what to do next, and like that they do take on financial burdens then just out of lack of kind of knowing what to do,
and you don't want that. And I think that was the one thing that myself and my husband both agreed, that we were not going into this with any financial burdens. Like, this had to be, so we don't have any investors. We've been offered investors, but we don't want to just yet. We really want to do this by ourselves for the first couple of years. So it's to understanding that, okay, so what's the sacrifice you're going to make then to do that? Because there has been lots of sacrifices. But just know the why.
Yeah, absolutely. And what strategies have worked best for growing your business and engaging that kind of curl confident community?
Education.
Yeah.
Education.
I think that's definitely the main thing.
So we hit the ground like last year. I don't know, like we're in over 200 retailers now in Ireland, which is fantastic.
Incredible.
With 3 more big chains coming on board, which is so exciting before the end of Q1. On the ground, face to face, you can't beat it.
No, you can't.
So we done so many events. I don't know how many events we done last year. I should know because it was in a pitch that I done about 2 weeks ago. But we done well over 100 events, 2-hour events. We done 4 masterclasses, fully packed. It was 50 people. They sold out for the masterclasses, and like we're just being asked every day, when are we doing more? When are we doing more? My biggest thing when we started this product was with all of because I had to outsource a lot of agencies to start off, and now CurlyCO's team is starting to grow internally, which is brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah.
But my biggest thing since day one was I do not want to bring out a product, have instructions on the back of the bottle, grand, deadly, but I don't want it to sit on a shelf and for people not know how to use it. So if that means I have to get on the ground and start hitting over 200 retailers, we will.
Yeah.
So we've earmarked, I think, 37 doors to hit over the next 8 weeks and do 2-hour events in each of those. Now, not just me. Obviously, I now have taken on a full-time girl who's going to do events and sales with me. But I just think you can't be education. You can do all the digital advertising, which we are, and they're really, really important, obviously, as well. And social media and online and all of that. But there's nothing like face-to-face education.
Yeah, and I think that's something that having a salon and stuff will always teach you.
Always
is that interaction.
good,
You know, people know that there's a person behind the product, there's a passion behind it, and I think it's unbeatable. Like when it comes to that,
definitely.
Yeah, it's amazing. What has been the most rewarding moment in your journey with CurlyCO so far?
I saw that question last night, and I kind of, you never know how to answer them, and I was like,
thinking,
I don't think I'll ever forget the moment that my face, which I like, get them pictures and I'm just like, oh yeah. But Macaulay's in Kilkenny is where that shopping centre is where I started years and years ago as a hairdresser. Yeah. And my mum and dad used to drop me off and collect me, and now the hair salon has gone out, but Macaulay's are there and they took on the brand straight away. Wow. I have a lot of school pals as well, and they're like, oh my God, we'll take it on. But when my daughter and myself were going into Super Value, and she's like, Ma'am, oh my God, look. And it was, we were on the screen, the big digital screen. And I was like, okay, come on, let's go, run. And she's like,
I don't want anyone to see me beside this.
No. And then another day, it was my mum and Poppy. And my mum said to me then later on, she's like, oh, Poppy was just so proud. She's like, look at Mum in the window.
That's so nice.
So like, that's it for me. And I think it's always going to come back to your family anyway. For me anyway, it's not about the money figures or the sales or the amount of shops that you're in. That I don't think I'll ever forget her little face when she's like, oh my God, look. Do you know?
Yeah, it's the people as well that like you're always with and stuff, and they see the work you put in, and that now they're seeing you like in the stores and everything. It's
I know. I get really embarrassed. I should call in more, and I know the managers very well in the Kilkenny locations, and I met her last week. She's actually my husband's neighbour. We met outside the doors of the in-laws, and I said to her, I was going to call in last week. Why didn't you? The girls love when they see you coming in. I was like, I know, I'd be mortified. And she goes, Denise, stop it. She said, you're like a celebrity now. And I was like, would you go air that, will you? I'd be mortified. That's the reason I didn't call in, so you'd be mortified. But I know I should do more often.
I think as well, when you put so much work like in all the time, you know, you're kind of behind the scenes, and then when you actually see it come to life, you're like, oh my God.
I know.
You're like, what is that? Like, how did that end up there?
You can't beat the Irish community. Like, I mean, every time I walk in somewhere, like they have the brand. We don't even have like displays in store yet. We're on that now next, but they'll have like a beautiful table done up, and they'll have it like right in the middle, and you know, like it's stuff like that
love supporting you, like
it really makes the difference, because the bigger brands, like obviously you have to pay for display and you have to pay for everything, but I think it's to always remember those smaller ones where you started, not to forget where you came from.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And what's next for you and the brand? Do you have any exciting plans?
Yes, we do. We have one definite new product launch in May. We have another possible one for Christmas, and we've got amazing Christmas sets being like signed off in the next week or two. I'd say CurlyCO will have its own headquarters office in the next couple of months.
Incredible.
We've two more employees started last week, so that brings up to 5. I'd say there'll be another 5 before end of year. So we're just growing internally.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, that's a big year.
Yeah, a big year. And then obviously there's 3 hush big retailers. Like one of them is the pinnacle. It's like, you know, Mammy's at home with the rosary beads.
Yeah.
I'd say she's worn through them in the last 12 months trying to see, can we get on there? I won't say anymore, but it shouldn't be too long.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. Yeah. And just to finish it off, what is one of your biggest piece of business advice that you would give to someone?
I think we probably spoke about that. What did I say to you? I said to you, budget, cash flows, and know your why. Yeah, you have to know your why. If you know your why, everything else falls into suit. And then cash flow and budgets, because like girls are crazy. Like we see something we want it straight away.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know?
Yeah, so indecisive and just like it's very easy to just buy something.
Yeah, and we're like magpies, aren't we? We see something shiny and we want it straight away. So it's budgets and cash flows will keep you in order. And never stop dreaming. Dream big and go for it.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Very welcome.
If anybody would like to purchase any of your products or come in for any of the Curly experiences, where can we find you?
Well, the salon is Rustiq. It's in Kilkenny, and we're always taking new clients. My client list is closed at the moment, but we have 4 Curly specialists in there.
Amazing.
And you can get us online at www.curlyco.ie.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming on.
No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem.